Hi, my name is Ethan. Today we're going to be doing a quick tutorial on the Gemini notebook from Google. It's pretty new, but it's free for anyone with a Google account. And there are a lot of different features that students can actually use to enhance their learning, whether that's making quizzes, study guides, flashcards, anything like that. They can use all of their notes. They don't even need to do any research. They can use all their notes they took in your class to actually create all of those things. So we're going to go ahead and open up that Gemini notebook and see what they can actually do with it. So I'm here in the Gemini notebook. We're kind of just going to be going over how students can actually use it to enhance their learning, specifically towards like creating study guides and things like that. So the first thing to do is to add sources. So normally a student might, they took notes in like Docs or Word, they can upload their files right here. That's really good. Or maybe they want to use like a Khan Academy video or something like that. They can actually add URLs like that. They can add files from their drive here, or they can just add copy text using that box. I don't have any of those things right now. So what I'm just going to do is how can a student use Gemini notebook to enhance their learning? And then obviously you can just use whatever search in there and it'll work. That's really just combing the internet for different links that come up when you look this up. So it essentially would be like Google. As you can see, it got a bunch of sources here from everywhere on the internet. There's YouTube videos, there's just normal Google searches, there's other websites. Looks like that might be a university. So I'm just going to import those into the notebook. So it's all in there. But it didn't give me a title, so I'm just going to title this here. How using my notebook. So that's done. As you can see, title here, it's like a quick blurb, it just gave me right here. And then there's also this button that says select all. So as you see, when you deselect them, you don't get any of these options. When you do select them, you can make all these things. Audio overview, this is like essentially like a podcast it'll make. So deep dive, brief, critique, debate, a bunch of different things there. Mind map, I don't know how useful necessarily this is for students, but it'll just make like a map, a concept map of all that stuff. Quiz, I think this is obviously going to be a really big thing. So you can change the number of questions, level of difficulty, what sources you want to choose them from. Obviously in that search, obviously you might want to use just your own files because you know that information is correct. With the normal Google search, you probably won't. So the quiz, that's a big thing. I'm actually going to generate this, so let's just put it on medium. Then you can also just say what should the topic be, but I'm just going to say generate, have it be very general. You can also create a data table with the files that you upload, so that's big. Flashcards is obviously a really good thing for students. We're going to make some of those. And then to make an actual study guide, if you click reports here, a student can go here, they just create a briefing doc, a study guide, or a blog post. Obviously for a student, they might want to click study guide. As you can see here, it's generating all these different things. And once it's done generating, you can actually click on them and you can open them up. Then another good thing about using this here as well is that once the student, let's say they have this quiz, so you can answer all of these different things here, but then also in the chat box, you can actually use the chat to explain other problems that you might have gotten wrong, and it'll actually tell your students step by step how they can do that. Let's close that. This one's a study guide. So as you can see here, it's created the study guide. It's done all that stuff. So that's perfect as well. And then here are my flashcards. As you can see, it just has flashcards there. So it's really good tool. As you can imagine, if students take hopefully good notes, they can just upload all of these, all their files into here and just create a study guide, quizzes, flashcards based on all that stuff. So it's kind of like ChatGPT, Quizlet, all those things in one. Obviously, it's up to the student to use it ethically, but fundamentally, like this is a really good source for, I think, for students. They can do really whatever they want. Obviously, it's not just limited to asking how can you use it. They can use it for math. They can use it for science. They can use it for English. It's going to do everything for them, and it's completely free. They just need to have a Gmail account. So it's a really good source. So I think I would highly recommend showing it to your students and then sort of also showing them how to use it because there is a lot of features and there's a lot of things they can do with it. So I think it's definitely worth giving a try.